Hey guys, Steven from Cartwheel here. In this video, I'll be showing you how to set up the low inventory flow. So for this, you'll need two tabs open. You'll need your Cartwheel dashboard open as well as your Klaviyo account. So first thing you're going to do is you want to make sure you have your API keys set up within your Cartwheel account, which you should already have done. Then you're going to go to the flow library, click on low inventory flow, and make sure the flow is enabled. Also here you can set a threshold for which these events will get triggered. So by default, this is if product goes below 10 items or fewer, it will get triggered, but we can customize this if we want to. So move it down to 5. Make sure you save changes after you've enabled the flow. Now from here, you're going to want to go to the Klaviyo. So first off, you're going to want to go to our documentation just to grab some code that we're going to be pasting in. Okay, so once we have this tab open, we can go over to Klaviyo. We'll create a new flow. We'll create the flow from scratch. We'll name it low inventory flow. For our trigger, we're going to set a metric trigger, and we're going to pick low inventory. If low inventory is not showing up here, that means you have not entered your API keys into Cartwheel. So yeah, pick low inventory, hit done. Now we're going to drag in an email. We can change the subject to anything we want to really, but we'll just put a product in your cart. A product you may be interested in is running out of stock. For the email that we're picking, we'll create it from a drag and drop template. We're going to be removing all of the content from the template, so we'll just pick the one column template because it has the least amount of content to remove. We'll go ahead and delete everything here. We're not going to delete the bottom footer because Klaviyo requires we have unsubscribe links in our emails, so we don't want to delete that. We're going to add a text block. We're going to add an image block, and then we're going to add another text block below that image block. And finally, we're going to add a button block below that. For the first image block, we're going to go to source. We're going to click on the text block, go into source, delete everything, and then copy the first bit of code from the documentation, from the Cartwheel documentation. Paste that in there, save. It should look like this. For the image, we're going to use a placeholder URL. We're going to paste in the URL for the image from the documentation. Paste that in. We're going to want it to link to the product. So to do that, we'll paste in this link. This links to the product URL. I like to set the image width to 250. Center align it. For the next text block, we'll go to source. We'll do the same thing. We'll delete the source code, and then we'll copy and paste the source code from the documentation for that block. Save that. Finally, for the button block, we're going to change the button text to return to cart. And then we're going to add in this link here from the button. So link to that URL, and then just say return to cart. And this will link, this will send the person to return to their cart from your website. So we'll go ahead and save all that. We're going to preview the email within Klaviyo, and we can see that it's filling out some example data. And so we know we've set up the email properly. So from here, we can just save the email, return to our flow. Hit done, return to which will take us back to our flow. And we pretty much set up the bare bones for a low inventory flow. Now from here, what you are likely going to want to do is tweak that email template to theme it out to be consistent with your store's branding. You also may want to set up some additional settings within your flow. So one setting I advise customers to set up is adding a flow filter, so that so you set up a flow filter so that if anyone has been in the flow in the past 30 days, they don't receive any emails from this flow. So to do that, you just add a flow filter. People will enter this flow when they're low inventory and then has not been in the flow at any time in the last, we could do 30 or maybe 20 days, however you want to do it. Save that. And when we've customized our flow to our liking, all we have to do is click the live button on our email and our flow will be live. That is it.